Hello, welcome. Glad you're here to join me as we go through some information you're going to need for the 2022-2023 school year at First Coast Christian School. My name is Rick Spain. I'm the school administrator and also work as the preschool and elementary principal. It's a joy to have you with us as we begin this new school year. One of the first things that everyone needs to know about, be aware of, is the start times for our K3 through K5 students. School begins at 8:10 every morning. For our first grade through 12th grade, it starts at 8 a.m. Please be careful to get your students out of the car a few minutes before that so they have time to get to class. That is the time they need to be in class, ready to go. So if you help us with that, it'll help get their day off to a much better start. Dismissal times. Our K3 is dismissed at 11:30 normally. Those who stay a little bit later are dismissed at 2:30. Our K4 at noon, and again also at 2:30 if they stay that late. And our K5 through first at 2:40. Our second grade is dismissed at 2:50, and our third through 12th is dismissed at 3:10. The first day of school is this Thursday, the 11th of August. K3 through second grade will be dismissed at 11:30. Third grade through 12th will be dismissed at 12 noon. If you're coming for a third through 12th grader, help us out. Try not to get here until about 11:50 at the earliest, if you can. If you're in line for elementary pickup and you're picking up a third, fourth, or fifth grader, and it's 11:30 or 11:35 or even 11:40, and you're at the front of the line, we may have you drive around just so we can get the K3 through second grade loaded and on their way. So middle school and high school students on that very first day are going to begin meeting in the auditorium at 8 a.m. That first day for everybody, there is no lunch service. So if they're staying in extended care, they will need to bring a lunch with them. And extended care will be open until 4 o'clock on the first day. Textbooks, K5 through 5th grade textbooks. These textbooks will be available in the classrooms on the first day of school if payment's been received. The 6th grade through 12th grade will be getting directions from their teachers about how to access the books, or else if they're physical books, they'll be available in the classroom on the first day of school. So be aware of that. Those who have digital textbooks, the teachers will be able to assist them in getting those set up. If your child needs medications, if you're going to need to have take something during the day, there is a medical packet that's going home that you need to fill out. You'll have to fill out the information about that medication and when it needs to be administered. It needs to be delivered to the school in the original container, so that we know that everything. Don't send it in plastic bags or other containers. It needs to be in the original container. This is a requirement we must go by for the state. So if you'd help us out with that, that would be a huge bonus. Also, there are other documents that we must have before a child can attend class. We must have on file their current immunization form, the current physical form from sometime recently, and their birth certificate. These items have to be on file before they can begin to attend class. As a side note, we need volunteers for several things throughout the year. We'll be doing vision screening, hearing screening, several other things that could use volunteers to come in and help with that and getting kids through the line, getting information filled out, and so on. If you can help out, if you would email Sandy Moore at sandymore@myfccs.org, that would be a plus, so we can find out who is available to help us out and get you scheduled. Speaking on the area of need, we always are in the lookout for good substitutes. Substitutes life, it's hard. You may remember, maybe you were one of those who gave substitutes a hard way to go back when you were in school. So maybe you can commiserate with what they have to go through. But we need some good people who can help when our normal teachers are out. We do not throw you in there with kind of a hint of a book and a prayer. We do try and have you come in and sit through class with one of our teachers for a few hours before you ever start. We try and help you understand what the procedures are and the whys and wherefores. And we usually, the teachers, when they're going to be out, are able to write some detailed instructions on what they want the students to do. and they let them, they send those in, and then all you have to do is follow those instructions, take roll, and let the office know if there's any problems, and we can help deal with that and take care of it. Some requirements: number one, must be a born-again Christian. That's a big thing. Be active in your own church. A college degree is not required. We are going to look for people who are not fresh out of high school. We're looking for people who are 22 and such, a little bit and older, with a little more experience, a little more ability to relate and deal with young people. If you work in your church and you work with youth, or you work with the elementary age group, you might be a perfect candidate for us if you have your days available. So again, we'd love to talk to you. You can go to our website at www.myfccs.org. There's a black bar going across near about an inch down from the top of the screen, and on the right it says FCCS Employment Application. You can go there and download the paperwork we need and get it turned in. There are directions on that page, and we'd love to talk to you about that. SLA is again providing our lunches this year. There will be no lunch service on the first day of school, but there will be on the second, beginning Friday, August the 12th. Lunch prices went up a little bit. They went up a quarter per lunch. So K3 through second grade pays $3.75. Third through eighth grade pays $4, and ninth through 12th grade pays $4.25. There is information on our website you can go to. We've sent some information home already on how to get your account set up. Those of you who've already been here, you've been through this and kind of know the process. But those of you who are new, if you're having trouble getting with that, please send one of us an email and we'll get you connected to what you need. We did send home some of that information as a PDF on an email from Ms. Kastner about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and we'll send it again if you need it. Just let us know. We need your current information. It is super important that if your phone number changes, if your email changes, if your address changes, any of those things change, you are not able to change them yourself. But if you will call our office, they will get that written down. They will go in and make that change. If that changes, it definitely interferes with our ability to communicate with you, especially email. So please make sure we're updated on any changes that happen as soon as a change takes place. That would be a big help to us. 2022-2023 Spirit shirts are available this year, as we sell every year. These are things that senior class sells, partly as a fundraiser, but also to allow students to wear T-shirts and show their school spirit. And we're allowing the students every Friday to wear their Spirit shirt with a regular pair of uniform bottoms. Every once in a while we'll do a jeans day, but the vast majority of the time it'll be their normal uniform bottoms, whether it be the pants, shorts or skirts or whatever, but they'll be able to wear their shirt with one of those. So remember that it is with the uniform bottoms, but we do want to make that available, and I think it makes for Friday being a little more fun, and we're looking forward to that. Drop off and pick up. This is always a huge thing. Number one, let me say, please be careful in our parking lot. Slow down. Please, please, please put your phone down. If you're talking on the phone when you pull in our parking lot, do everyone a favor and go ahead and politely hang up, and let's put that down. Also, if you're running a few minutes late, I can promise you speeding through our parking lot will not make it any better. We have way too many children walking around, and it only takes one moment to have a disaster and to cause a lifetime of heartache. So please be careful. At every moment, we have people stationed all around the place trying to help get folks to slow down and to have good directions, and sometimes to stop cars to let kids cross. Please respect the people who are doing that, follow their directions, and help out. Let me say this about the pickup. Anyone picking up a student in K3 through 5th grade, you have to have a car tag. And that's the one we provide you. It has the family name, the name of the child, and their grade. It'll be provided by the teachers. And please display it in your car window. That is how teachers know who to call for and try and get the car line moving quickly. If for some reason you do not have a car tag, or maybe you've sent someone to pick up your children and they do not have a car tag, they will be asked to park their car and go inside and sign them out. They'll have to present a picture ID, preferably a driver's license. They must also be on the pickup list. So if you have not checked your pickup list, please go there, check that. You should be able to do it through the Fax app. and make sure that you're current on who's able to pick up your children. This is all we have to go by. And let me add also that even if we know the person by sight, we're going to ask them to go inside and show ID and sign them out. I know that seems a little silly, and we've had people get very, very angry at us for that before. Even some people who we didn't know from anybody who was mad that we challenged them at all. Folks, this is about safety of your kids. This is about sometimes we have substitutes who are in that car line. This is about I might be in that car line and I might not recognize you with that particular child. So help us out. Just be ready and understand if you don't have the car tag, you're going to have to come inside and sign them out. So please, number one, try and have the car tag. But if not, be aware of our procedure. Hey, let me mention about pickup. Most of you have seen, you're familiar with our grounds. If you look at this schematic on the left is Blanding Boulevard. If you pull in the main entrance, you'll turn immediately right, go down, then turn left, and that's where you'll go around behind the building for elementary. The K3 through 5th grade drop-off is back there in the back where that yellow box is, and that's drop-off and pickup, morning and afternoon. So K3 through 5th grade, that's where you're going to go. That's a double line of cars. In the morning especially, we'll have safety patrols out there. Do not get out of your car. Pull up, make sure your car doors are open. Our safety patrols will help get the children out of the car. We train them on how to do it. We ask them to keep a hand on the child's shoulder, walking them the entire way up to where they release them right before the door. This is just to make sure that, if a small child suddenly wants to break away and run back to the car, they're going to try and stop them. We don't know if they're going to, we don't know if cars have been released. We don't know what's going on. We want to make sure they're safe. So just be aware. We try and train them to do some of the things that we do for the safety of those children, especially the small ones. We ask that nobody run through, none of the children run through there. Do not let your children exit the car until a safety patrol comes to the car to get them out. We've got this usually running fairly quickly. We will empty 10 cars at a time, 5 on each side. And as soon as we get all 10 of them emptied out, they will do a couple of yells to make sure everything's clear. And then they'll let all those 10 cars go and the next group pull up and do it again. We can, on a good morning, empty 10 cars and get them out of there within a minute or a little less. Most time it's about a minute 15, minute 30. But, at that rate, in 10 minutes, we can get about 70 cars through there, which is a pretty good pace to try and get folks through. So just be patient with us. If you're in line just around the corner, we're doing our best to try and get folks there quicker. If it is raining in the morning, it's going to slow down. Just no way around it because we're going to try and walk them up with an umbrella and try and keep them dry. So be patient with us and be patient with each other. It's a crazy time. If you've got a 6th through 12th grade student, they're going to get picked up over here behind a building 2 and dropped off there as well. Excuse me. They'll actually get dropped off there in the morning. They can be dropped off as early as 7:30, not counting extended care. Extended care can be dropped off at 6:45. But for normal folks who are not in morning extended care, you can drop them off at 7:30. They're going to go into the practice gym right there. The big bay doors should be opened up by 7:30, and then they'll be in there, and we'll have a couple of staff members in there to watch over them. And they'll be sent on to class starting at 7:45. At pickup time in the afternoon, 9th through 12th will be picked up here, but 6th through 8th will be picked up right in front of the church where the other yellow box is. So you can see where the 2 different pickup spots are. That's to try and get folks through a little bit easier. Right there in front of the church, we try and make that into 2 lanes. So if you pull either right or left, as far right or left as you can, and leave the center lane free, as you pick up children, the idea is for you to pull into the center lane and pull away. For the first few days with preschool and elementary students, everybody wants to walk their kids in. We understand that. We recognize that. We ask that you park out in front and walk your children around. Don't come around to the back thinking there'll be empty spots. There probably won't be. But if you park out front, walk them around on the north side of the campus, and then you can walk them in to their classroom for the first 4 days. So Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, you may walk them to class. We will have people in the hallways to help direct you and help direct them. After that, starting next Wednesday on the 17th, we will ask you walk them up to the double glass doors and let them go in on their own. Again, we'll have folks who are there helping them get to where they need to be and get everybody situated. So, but we want to go ahead and get them, the sooner we can do that, the sooner we can get them started on with their classwork and get them going and get them used to the routine of getting to the classroom on their own. For some of them, it's difficult at first, but within a few weeks, they're doing it like champs and know exactly where to go, and sometimes they're even helping others. So be prepared for that. Let me talk about the uniform policy. Some things that we've done. The K3, K4, and K5 students can buy uniform clothes anywhere, including Land's End if they want. They have to conform to our color and style, and you can look at the preschool elementary handbook for that. 1st through 12th grade, most of their uniforms are going to come from Land's End only. And there's exceptions to that I'll talk about in a moment. It's important that you go to the Land's End website through our page, through www.myfccs.org. Over on the right-hand side, about halfway down, is a link to the Land's End website. It's very important you go that way because that will get you into the right part of Land's End. The uniform part, you have to make. If you've already created an account, you'll sign into it. You want to be careful. If you're in there in the school uniform part, and then you do a search for uniform pants or whatever, many times it takes you out of the uniform portion. When you're in the uniform part, it'll show you the options you have based on the age you've told them your child is, the grade your child is, and whether they're male or female. You'll see the different options, and you can choose the uniforms that you wish from that list, and that'll keep you where you need to be in the way of uniforms. If you do a search and it takes you outside the Land's End school uniform website part, you may end up buying something that does not conform to our dress code and you may not be allowed to wear. So be careful. One way to tell is when you get to when you're ordering the individual items, it should give you, for shirts, it will require you to sign on for a logo. Our Knights logo that goes on the left upper chest of the shirt. And if it doesn't show you that, you're probably in the wrong section. For the bottoms, we are not requiring, and I'm jumping ahead here, but that's okay. For the bottoms, we're not requiring the FCCS embroidery anymore. It's optional. You can choose to get it, but it's not required. Let me go on to that part. Students in 1st through 12th grade are no longer required to purchase long pants from Land's End. Okay, they can be purchased elsewhere as long as they match the style and color. So if you wish to purchase long pants from Target in their uniform section, that's fine. They need to be the same style. They need to be khaki in color or navy, like the colors that we have through Land's End. The idea is we don't, if it's something, if they're striped, if there's, really outlandish, outlandish is the wrong word, but if they're very different, is the best way to put it. The whole point of uniforms is to be uniform, to be the same. I know that a lot of students don't want to be uniform, but in this case, we're asking that you do. So it needs to match. If it's something very different than what we normally get from Land's End, we might ask you not to use it. So look at what we have from Land's End, go to Land's End, look at what they have, and try. If you want to get something from somewhere else, that's fine. But it needs to be very similar. And we're doing this because that's one of the most expensive items Land's End sells. And truthfully, we're trying to help cut down some of the expense in that area. So, take it in the spirit it's offered to help us out with going on with what we ask, and everybody, I think, will be happy. We're still going to enforce our guidelines about how the pants fit. They cannot be tight. The correct way to phrase it, they need to be loose-fitting all over. Anything that is snug against the contours of the leg or the backside all the way up and down is not going to be acceptable. So help us out with that. And just make sure that the stuff fits appropriately, is loose-fitting, and looks appropriate for how we should look. Okay, this change, by the way, only applies to long pants. Shirts, shorts, skirts, dresses, all those have to be purchased through Land's End. So the only thing you can purchase elsewhere is long pants. So please be aware of that. And like I said a moment ago, the logo for the pants and the shorts are no longer required. It's optional. You can get it if you wish, but you do not have to have it. For new families, if you ordered uniforms and they're going to be late, that's okay. You need to do a couple things for us. Email if you're in middle school, high school. If you're in preschool and elementary, email Mrs. Sandy Moore at sandymoore@myccs.org. If you're in middle school or high school, email Mr. E.T. Moore at edwardmoore@myccs.org. Include your name, your student's name and grade level, we need both, and provide the transaction or receipt number and the date you purchased your clothes. And they'll still be able to come, but you need to wear something similar. Again, bright red is not going to go over well. Something of khaki or navy in color and that sort of thing would be the best. Hair code changes. I'm not going to go into all the hair code changes because I can't fully explain all of them at the time that I have, but I'm going to ask you to go to the handbook for your section. A couple weeks ago, I sent home the dress code for the school, for both preschool up through high school, and it had the hair code in there. Please look at that. Please look at it in the handbook and make sure you're familiar with it. Again, we're asking nothing outlandish, nothing that draws attention. Rainbow colors, colors in the hair that are unnatural, bright pink. They're not going to go. So please don't do that, and don't make us have to come back and ask you to change it. We prefer not to even have to deal with that. So please help us out and go with the guidelines we've given you. Hey, good news. For many of you who've been here, you know Renee Cardenas. Miss Cardenas is going to be our new middle school, high school principal. I'm very excited to have her in this position. She is an awesome lady, very positive, but also wants to see kids do well. She's going to push the kids to do their very best. It's a joy to have her in this position, and I'm encouraging each one of you to go by and just let her know how happy you are to have her there. And again, a big thank you to her for taking this position and contributing to our school in such a positive way. One other change, Mr. Larry Smith is going to be our Dean of Academics, what Ms. Cardenas did the past year. So Mr. Smith was with us for 3 years as the preschool and elementary principal, and he's been gone for the past 2, and now he's back, and he's going to be working as the Dean of Academics. He is a super detail-oriented guy. He's going to do a great job of making sure everyone's where they need to be academically. I want to talk just a moment about some of the changes we're doing security-wise. We are trying to make some changes that will be beneficial to the school, to our students, to all folks who come on campus. One of the first things we did is we had cameras on campus before, but only a couple of them were outside, and we didn't quite cover everything inside. Over the summer, we've added another 20-something cameras. We're up around nearly 50 cameras on campus, and these are being used to keep an eye on our facilities, on our grounds. As you see from this picture here, that's a few of the cameras, 9 of the cameras that are outside. There's several more. That helps us keep an eye on what's going on around the campus grounds, but also we have cameras in the hallways to keep an eye there as well. So this is something we're trying to do to improve some security. The entryway to our school office, as you know, when you go to the glass doors, you have to buzz the buzzer and be let in. We're going to be changing that to where that door will be open, and the next set of doors, the wooden doors, will be the ones that are locked. And we'll have you start. It's going to take us a few weeks to get in effect. We're talking with the company about getting this installed, and like everything right now, it's just taking time to get equipment and everything in place and get it all approved and ready to go. So this will be several weeks before we get this done. But we're going to have you end up talking through the glass, through an intercom, what your business is such, and some of the sign in, sign out stuff might just happen out there in the lobby, and then the students come and then go out through the doors to meet you. But we're going to try and get a little tighter on controlling who comes into our office. But that's a change just to be looking for. It's going to be coming, and I think it's necessary and essential. The one other change we're exploring, and I've already gotten one bid on this, is putting a fence across the front and along Blanding to help control who comes on campus and how often. There's a lot of questions still to be answered about that. We're trying to get those answered about how to handle entry and exit during the day. That's a big thing. That fence project is easily going to be $50,000 or more. If you find yourself in a position where you're willing to help contribute to a project like that, come talk to me. I'm looking for people who are willing to help underwrite that and get that going. It's a big project in multiple ways, including just how it changes overall traffic on campus. So be aware, but we are constantly looking at security, constantly looking at how things are done on campus to try and make them safer. And we've tightened up some of our doorways and are going to be making that to where it's a little bit harder to get in numerous places. Our biggest challenge is training our kids. Our kids are some of the nicest ones in the world. And many times when an adult comes to the door, they're anxious to go help them and open the door for them. We've got to train them not to do that. And we're making progress on that, but there's still a ways to go. So, folks, I want to thank you, number one, for being a part of First Coast Christian School. I want to thank you for trusting your children to us and for spending this time with me as I've gone through all these slides. I know it's a long process. There's a lot of information here that you needed to hear, you need to be aware of. I've also included in the email I sent you links to a drive-through video of drop-off and pick-up, both for our preschool and elementary, and another one for our middle school, high school, where I had a camera in my car. It was last year, but I've narrated through that and talked you through how to go about driving through campus and where to go to drop off and pick up. So hopefully that'll help you. And I ask that you watch that so you get some of the ideas. They're 2 or 3 minute videos just to help you get through those. So again, thank you for your time. Thanks for being part of First Coast Christian School, and God bless.